Hey there, it's Mike from the Beaten Trail. We are here with Sal from Slaw Dog Off-Road Shenanigans.
Hello.
We're here at Darkwater. We wanted to take some time and speak with Sal and just tell us a little bit about how you got started on YouTube as a fellow influencer.
How much time you take? How much memory is in this camera?
Just
You're gonna
whatever
need
the basic question is. Yeah.
Honestly, I grew up riding ATVs when I was younger, and as you know, I got married, had children, had to get rid of the ATVs and just lost sight of the hobby. So one of my coworkers was telling me that he actually rides with a couple guys on the weekend, and I perked up and I'm like, oh my God, I used to ride when I was younger. And so I ended up actually purchasing another four-wheeler. This is the second one that I've gotten in my older age as of recent. But what really got me into the whole YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff was actually you guys, the Beaten Trail. I watched a lot of their videos. There's also two other channels that I frequently watched. And we didn't even start this to grow it into anything. We actually started doing this so all of our riders could watch themselves.
Yeah.
That was it. And then we started getting subscribers, we started getting people commenting, and for me it blew up.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than I ever thought it would be, put it that way.
Awesome.
And it takes hard work, and it is what you put into it. But I love it. I love talking to people. I love the fans, for all of our groups, and the rides that we do with Mike and the Beaten Trail is awesome. So, yeah.
Cool. What's the most unique question that you've ever gotten about the channel or about some of your content that you might have gotten from a viewer? Okay, we'll try another question.
Yeah, because it's less like the only thing I've gotten that disappointing and upsetting is they beat on the four-wheeler.
Right.
They do, because of the brand.
Right. Well, you'll always get have brand loyalty and people poo-pooing it.
I've never had anything weird.
No. Okay.
Where do you ride? That's it.
Right.
Where are you? That's
right.
it.
Right.
So,
they want to know coordinates, or they want to know where'd you go, or how'd you get there, or
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've had people reach out to us to say, hey, where are you? We'd love to ride with you.
Yep.
And then we find out they're in freaking like Michigan or Utah, and it's like, oh, you can't ride with us unless you just come here.
Yeah,
But
that's always
weird.
a challenge. You can't be everywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
So primarily, I probably have 30% international followers.
Yeah.
Just recently, and obviously you're not going to do a group ride in Vietnam or India or Europe or UK or Mexico. Although it would probably be pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, I would love to go over and meet the Untouchables. You know who they are.
Yeah. They're Austria,
in
Germany,
Romania,
right?
I think they're in Romania.
Yeah. And the forests are beautiful.
Oh my God.
And I mean, it looks just like the most beautiful North America you could ever find anywhere.
Yes.
Untouched and just beautiful.
Yeah, not harvested. All right, so unfortunately I can't answer that question because I've never had anything weird.
Yeah.
Have you?
So I mean, usually some of the weird questions is, people, and it's not weird, but people want to make like a one-off, not like someone trying to sell you a product, but somebody wants to come in and says, oh, well, I had somebody make me these really cool air inlet, fashioned metal covers for when you wash your side-by-side. Okay. And I use them for a while, and that's all cool and everything, but sometimes you just get weird questions where, hey, can I come over and you help me put my axles in and stuff like that, which is fine if they weren't in Georgia. So,
where's Gary?
I know a lot of people put a lot of faith in what we put on the camera, but I have people that are my mechanics. Right. I make videos, and that's all I'm good at. Right. Everything else, this is all smoke and mirrors. When you see me on an ATV, I'm just he's got a rope tied to me, and I just kind of go through the motions. No. So,
you do a great job.
Thank you, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional in the garage. We have Gary and Miguel and everybody else who helps out with that kind of thing. So I do get some people that will ask me some technical questions, and I like, what's the part number for this Can-Am clutch on an 850 XT? I'm like, I don't know. I got to call my friend Chris. Yeah. Chris and Adrian over at Pine Grove. Yeah. I don't know that stuff. Yeah. So
Yep.
So I guess, well,
I've never had anything like that. Like, the only questions I get are any changes that I've made to the clutching on this machine. What settings or what positions am I running with the clutch, what springs and how much weight I'm running. And I'm as honest as I possibly can be with everybody. And those are pretty much the only, as far as mechanical questions. I've done some reviews on the Elka shocks that I put on, a couple things, but nothing out of the ordinary. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, or not where you are yet. So it could be, coming.
And we welcome all the comments that people say, like, hey, I wish we could ride with you, or, we have a lot of people who used to ride who are now no longer physically able to do the same kind of riding.
Correct.
And so they live vicariously through our channels.
Yep.
Where, sometimes you'll get other channels and they'll do a 1 hour trail, and that's good, but there's no talking, there's no labeling, there's no nothing. We try to give people something small and short. You do some of the more detailed trails where you take everybody through a lot of where we are and this and that, and it's a full day. So there's a couple different types like that, but we get a lot of people that have their preferences.
That is correct, and you will get feedback on that. So when I first started doing this, I was filming the entire ride, and I actually got a lot of thank yous for doing that, because there was a lot of people locally who were like, "Oh my God, I've always wondered where that went if you went left, or where that went if you went right." So, but since then, it's a lot of time. I now break it up. There's a lot of people who don't like music. They want to hear the machines. There's some people who love the music. So now I try to do both. I do have one thing that caught me by surprise. I just thought of it. And I got actually worked up about it, kind of emotionally. Is there was a subscriber who always liked, always commented, and then started dropping comments saying, "I wish I could do that. I wish I could have a four-wheeler. I wish I could ride a four-wheeler." And from the way I'm taking, the way they're putting words together, you can almost tell they're in a foreign country, right? Outside of the U.S. So they're probably in a third world country where they're, probably poverty. And so we're blessed to be able to do this. So when I read that comment, my heart sank. And I'm like, I do take it for granted, because sometimes I'm out here at least once a weekend, and it's not cheap. It's expensive, but I love doing it. I love, riding outside. I love the guys. One of my best memories was teaching my son to drive an ATV, and then watching him take over and ride it on his own while I rode next to him. So
that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's to share the sport. Whether, and I don't have any kids, but
it's okay. You can adopt mine.
Friends and family, or people that want to get into it. Like I said, I get a lot of people come up to me and say, "Oh, I love you." Oh yeah, I love you. I remember when and I did the video for the O&W, or I did, and with the O&W, I got some flack because the locals there, you pay for a 7-mile permit, and then beyond that, for the 32 miles, you're kind of like on your own, and you're not covered by the group and everything. But we made it very clear: obey the local rules, signs. Everything is private property. Behave well. And so, I kind of patched things up with that guy, but he kind of jumped all over the place. But what I was getting to was, I'm happy to be able to at least instill some suggestions of where to ride and information of, this is kids starting, go to Maple Run. Right. Go to
Burma here.
Yeah. If you don't want to, if you're just registered and you don't want to pay the $200 for a park, by all means, DCNR is great. I mean, you can go to Maple Run, you can go to Dixon Miller. There's a lot of places that are local that are free that cost you $20 for registration and insurance, and you should have that anyway. It shouldn't be.
If you secured your machine legally, that should be registered with the DCNR, and that is included with your registration with the DCNR.
Yeah.
So,
So, but that's a Pennsylvania thing. I know a lot of other states do acknowledge and accept that kind of. If you go to Maine, I'm pretty sure they do that, and if you go to other states, they'll do that. But that's the main point: is we're trying to tell a story and help people pretty much see where to ride. And I think, as I say in many of these things, is I have bugs on me. A lot of these, that was a spotted lanternfly, kids. Make sure you
one
put
less.
those. He was in my ear, and then it was on my face.
I wanted to say something, but we're on camera. I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those foreign bugs we just kill. So, but no, I'm that was one of my questions though. So is another question is yes, you make it. You always make it through a really tough editing session, and you make it through the repairs, and then maybe we get a comment that Jesus person, whatever. But you always get somebody that comes up to you and says, or sends you a note and says, "I really appreciate what you do." And again, like I said, this grew into something that I didn't think we would do. I intentionally started with a GoPro 5, and we started filming, and I was posting full length rides just for our guys to watch. And then somebody said, dude, put some music on it, do something like this. If I upload one video and I get one comment or one like, hey, great job, or question, where is this, or what type of four-wheeler, or whatever, I'm happy. I'm happy because like Mike will tell you, it takes a lot of time, not only to film, the equipment's expensive, and then you find out, like we just did a great ride, and coming back, my rear camera wasn't even recording. I'm so upset because we came down some really cool stuff. So yeah, that's the hard part.
You lose it. You lose footage, and then you're upset about it. So I mean, we go through a lot when it comes to editing. Driving to these locations and riding them and filming them and planning them, and so a lot goes into it. That I'm hoping that subscribers get, and I think they do.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean everybody, and this is still a hobby.
Yeah,
we have real jobs.
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm an IT guy.
Yeah, we're not.
He's OC.
We're not making oodles of money. It pays enough for gas and some repairs.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Maybe a shirt here and there. Like that's, I wanted to pay for the guys' permits today down from Minersville. I told them I would pay for them, but we couldn't get them.
Yeah, you can't do a day.
That would have been like Facebook money or YouTube money, but it's not a lot. Yeah. It's not. So.
Yeah. And most of the time, I do take the money that I make in ad revenue and dump it back in for either advertising or stickers or shirts or hats, and then you give them away in contests. Then it's really part of advertising, truly. Sure. But when someone comes up to you and says, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah,"
it makes you feel good.
Yeah, and you give them stickers and just say, "Hey, hey, my kid got into it because he saw your channel." Yep. Or I learned something totally new, either safety related or trail related or something they didn't think of. So,
one thing I want to mention, it's really tough to communicate with people on YouTube. You can only comment. That's it. You can't reach out to them. I mean, unless they have a channel themselves. So when I hand out stickers, and like Mike will tell you, my stickers are always free. When I hand out stickers, I'm hoping that entices somebody to go to Facebook and look for us, and then you can communicate with us either through Messenger or make a post. And I met a lot of people that I ride with today doing that. So it's a great way to spread the word, and it's a great way to build the community. I don't look at it like I tell Mike, I don't look at it as competition. I look at it as community. So helping one another out, helping someone else out, that's what's important.
Yeah.
So.
And it's always the more the merrier. I mean, by all means, when we do 30, 40 people in group ride, that's not merrier. That's chaos. Even if you have radios, it gets
a little controlled chaos.
It's a little bit too big, but we try to do a group ride. It's usually 20, 25 people of subscribers or friends or a combination. And a lot of our subscribers became our friends too. So we try to encourage that too. Like, have a group of people that you go riding with. You all want to be this similar level, but we go riding with all different levels. Like I said, I'm a beginner on an ATV. I'm more comfortable on a side-by-side, but we've gone with people that have come from other states who were slower drivers than us. And so, you have to kind of, it makes it, you have the least common denominator. You don't leave people behind. You wait at intersections.
That is correct.
And safety is always important too. I mean, how many people are guilty of not putting their strap on their helmet? Yeah. You can get bounced out of a vehicle, off a vehicle, and then your head goes one way and the helmet goes another. I've said that in a couple different videos. So
yes, I know a couple individuals that don't even buckle their seatbelt in their side by side. They buckle it before they get in, and that's their prerogative. But I will abide by the safety measures, because I'll tell you what, I witnessed my buddy Tom roll his quad. Helmet was on, thank God. Quad rolled right over him, a grizzly. I went over the handlebars on this up at Mount Carmel when I hit a tree stump, and I landed on my head. Yeah. And that could have been worse. Yeah. So,
wear your helmets. It may not look cool, but it'll definitely keep you riding another day.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So anything else? Any exciting? Do you have any exciting rides that you are planning in the future that you're thinking of?
Well, actually, I am heading up to ride Whiskey Springs and the Bloody Skillet with this guy this month.
You didn't tell me.
Surprise.
Oh shit.
What month are we in? September 18th and 19th. So if you're up there, and I know you are because I communicate with people at Ride SSRT and Whiskey Springs and Bloody Skillet, we'll be out there on the trails. So hopefully we run into you guys.
Yes.
We're also...
And if this video makes it out in time...
It won't.
You never know. AOAA, we like to do a group ride the weekend of the 30th, 31st, but we haven't nailed it down yet. Yep. By the time the video comes out,
September.
Hopefully we'll right down here.
Yep.
It'll be over here somewhere. It'll say what date it is.
September. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I know he's super busy the month of September up until the end. I am super busy in October, so a lot of riders have shown interest in AOAA, so I'm thinking it's a really good place to go. And I think it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So don't come out to plan the race, heck. We're going to be taking our time. It's going to be, like you said, a subscriber, friend ride.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to do, it'll be ATVs and side-by-sides, but the ATVs will be leading.
Yep.
We're going to go a relaxing pace. We may find some mud holes, find some climbs, and then, you know, we'll get out and people can go do their thing and we'll film you and you can be in an episode. And
I do know that we will find rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're in Pennsylvania.
This is Rocksylvania.
Pennsylvania, and Indian means lots of rocks.
This is Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really mean that. Don't listen to me. But I appreciate you talking for a while.
Absolutely.
You know, we ride a lot, and good to have you.
Good friendship. He has helped me greatly. So, and hopefully I have him.
Yeah,
so.
And likewise, too. And it's always good. The one thing that Sal always says, and not everybody listens, don't ride alone.
Never. Don't ever ride alone, please.
Yeah, and that means don't you and your girlfriend go in the side-by-side by yourself. Because
two machines.
No one to tow, no one to help, no one to, you know, you just be safe.
Yep.
If you're in your backyard, it's one thing, but you're out here somewhere.
Yep.
Always have a second vehicle.
I will leave in his comments when this video posts the video of me hitting a tree stump and losing my whole right front end. I went over the handlebars. Luckily, I had a friend with me, and we were able to strap to the four-wheeler and actually tow it back because I thought we were done. So, always ride with someone.
Yeah, and I've been guilty of the same thing. You get into a spot where you're on the side of a cliff, and you're like, well, you know, if I go over this, there may be a couple days that they don't find my body.
And that's it. You're done.
Especially so always have somebody that can at least call for help.
Yep.
We all have cell phones, but a portable GPS unit is also helpful too. I know some of the new Apple phones can do SOS at least, satellite. But just be safe.
Yeah.
So, but thanks again, appreciate it, and we'll see everybody
out on the trail. Pleasure.
Thank you.
There you go.
We're going off the beaten trail. We're going off the beaten trail.
Hey there, it's Mike from the Beaten Trail. We're here with Sal. Hey, let's try that again.
What size pants do you wear? I'm a 32. +8.
Awesome. Awesome.
God. I'm Butthead.
I'm Beavis.
That was pretty cool.
Fire.